hẹn lại lên quý vị ơi, đến hẹn lại lên. Đây là chương trình của Tổng thống Trump nha, rally. Giới thiệu với quý vị một lần nữa, Binhvo-Ngoctrang kính chào quý vị. Hôm nay lại một lần nữa quý vị, hôm nay là ngày mùng 8 tháng 7 năm 2024, và ngày mai sẽ một ngày rally rất là đặc biệt tại Doral, tại Miami quý vị. Thì bây giờ đúng là chúng em đi từ hồi trưa mà bây giờ phải đi vì công việc quá bận rồi cho nên bây giờ mới đi quý vị. Thì bây giờ cuộc hành trình của chúng em là từ giống như mọi bữa thôi, từ nhà bắt đầu chúng em sẽ lên đường đi về Miami cho một cuộc rally cho ngày mai của tổng thống Trump tại sân golf International Doral Miami quý vị. Thì hành trình với chúng em thì không thể nào thiếu cái magazine của chúng em được. Thì ok, lại một lần nữa hẹn quý vị trên đường đi và một cuộc rally như thế nào, một hành trình đi như thế nào thì chúng em sẽ record lại và làm lại một cái phim để cho quý vị quay và để cho sau này cho quý vị thấy được những cái gì mà chúng em làm và những cái gì hành trình cho chúng em đi ủng hộ của tổng thống Trump cho năm 2024 này. Lại một lần nữa quý vị, xin quý vị hãy chung sức nha, cùng lòng hãy lên đường cùng chúng em nha. Trump 2024, vote Trump 2024, let's go, yes, let's go quý vị. Ok, đây không thể nào thiếu được quý vị, let's go. Bye.
And then over here we have Front Row Joe.
Hey! Woo! We love you.
25. I don't know what they do. I know they're rich.
I know.
I don't know what they do, but we love all of you. You're great.
Thank you.
You're American patriots.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, the Vietnamese delegation. I don't know what it is about Vietnam, but they do.
We love you.
Thank you.
We love you.
We vote for you.
We like them. Thank you.
We love you.
They travel with me all over. You know, I must be too soft on Vietnam because you like me too much.
Yeah, we like freedom.
We love you. We love
We
freedom.
like freedom.
Thank
They
you.
want the country with freedom.
They want freedom. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Under Mike.
We want freedom. Freedom.
5, 6. I think it's 125. I don't know what they do. I know they're rich, but I don't know what they do. But we love all of you. You're great. You're great American patriots. Thank you. And by the way, the Vietnamese delegation, I don't know what it is about Vietnam, but they do like me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we like them. Thank you. They travel with me all over. You know, I must be too soft on Vietnam because you like me too much. You like me too much. Thank you very much. I agree. They want freedom. That's right.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Thank you. Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You didn't know Trump could do that.
Chạy không đỡ. ra đoạn đường đi ngoài Ao Bì là không thể nào mà không đi được đường này, lúc nào phải bắt ngang qua đoạn đường này. Thì hôm nay tính đi sớm mà cuối cùng thành trễ. Không thể cũng vào đường là tới lúc mà nó open luôn, đợi em không lục nó sợ không. Có hai lên bên này luôn. Okay. Đây là mũi giao giữa 459, Xuân 250 rồi Papa Clearman Orlando, một cái con đường
cái kiểu cái xe mê
đúng này.
rồi xuống lại cái chỗ ở sức mai mê em đó nữa.
Không chạy đường Xuân 2 luôn mà, chạy Xuân 2 gần tới đó luôn. Chắc có xuống ngay cái giờ nên nó không có bị kẹt khúc của đường 95.
Vậy thì đúng là tới đây là khoảng 3 tiếng thôi chứ.
Nó phải về lúc nào giờ này nó kẹt cứng luôn đó, phải không? Nên cái về nhà mình đó.
Vậy sợ
Ổn định mà.
cái chết mà tại người ta đi qua thêm bà đó.
Đúng rồi đó. Cái mũi dao này, tại vì cái mũi dao lúc trước nó chưa không có mở ra thông qua Tam Ma, thành ra mình đi nó không bị kẹt. Kỳ này nó không qua Tam Ma, cái là bây giờ mọi người tập trung vô đi đường này nhiều. Tại vì Orlando người ta phải đi qua cái vùng Disney, và đi qua vùng Disney thì nó kẹt cứng luôn, thành ra người ta lại đi cái băng ngang qua
Tại
đây.
ta giải phóng cái đường I4 đó.
Đây, tới đây chúng quý vị sẽ thấy được cái hình ảnh của tổng thống Trump nha, chụp mưa dậy nắng đứng đây mấy năm trời rồi.
Nghe thì thảm.
Tấm ảnh không là thấy là yêu mến ngài liền. Ai làm gì làm.
Qua này gây lộn mấy thằng dân chủ mệt quá. Mà tim quá. Tới giờ rồi cãi lộn với tụi nó bằng Việt Nam ấy chứ.
Tại vì nó ăn quen rồi, ngồi bây giờ mình nói mình đi tìm cái tự do, cái sự tự do, đi tìm cái tự do, nhưng mà với bằng sức lực của chúng ta, chứ không phải đi qua sự tự do mà ngồi đó mà chờ thời, em hiểu không? Cái cơ hội là nó tạo cho mình cái cơ hội cuộc sống mình, nó tạo cái cơ hội cho mình là làm ăn dễ dàng, chứ không phải giống như ở Việt Nam là kiếm cái công việc làm không có đó. Mình đừng có nghĩ là qua đây mình ngồi rồi mình chỉ có hưởng những cái phúc lợi không. Tại sao mình qua đây người ta cho mình cái cơ hội để mà mình có công ăn sự nghiệp nữa, làm công việc làm đồ dễ dàng, tại sao không làm? Cái đó mới là cái quan trọng.
Phải.
Bị nổ bánh xe. Đây có gì chừng để ý nha, phía bên tay phải của chúng ta nha. Qua cái lùm cây này cái là thấy liền. thấy chưa đó, đó không? À, thank you. Ok, tiếp tục hành trình nhé. Nó thì cây đang đi ra anh rất khỏe vì lợi là rất quang cảnh của buổi tối trước đêm rao đi quý vị, mọi thứ đang còn chuẩn bị nha. Phía xa xa bên kia quý vị thấy không, đó là bên đó là golf club đó. Đó là hotel với nhà hàng đồ, phía bên này là tổ chức bên này. Bởi vậy bữa hôm kia là mình cũng có nói sơ sơ rồi là bên kia nhìn qua bên này là đúng là nguyên một cái sân Doral luôn á, là thấy nguyên cái fountain đồ. Đây là bán hàng với đồ quý vị, thì mọi người vô đây rồi mới được nha. Đó, check in vô đây rồi mới được bán hàng rồi luôn. Đó, tôi sẽ xa xa kìa. Bên này là sân golf. Đó, mọi thứ đây là cái đường đi vô nha, rất là nhiều nước uống rồi này. Giờ này là đã là 10 giờ đêm rồi quý vị, cho nên mọi người bây giờ chuẩn bị thôi về thôi, để ngày mai một ngày thật là ngày mai là một ngày là thật là tuyệt vời nha quý vị. Bye. Good morning quý vị ơi. Sáng sớm tại Doral Golf Club quý vị, chuẩn bị cho một ngày mới để rally hôm nay. Tối hôm qua thì tụi em ở lại trong khách sạn này, thì bây giờ chuẩn bị lấy xe và chạy một vòng đi đến địa điểm rally, và tới đó mình làm volunteer cho hôm nay là mình phục vụ cho Bắc Kinh. Okay. Đây là sáng sớm tại sân golf club nha. Đây một vòng, tất cả mọi chuyện đã ready. Good morning quý vị, sáng sớm làm volunteer cho buổi rally tại Trung Golf Doral nha. Thì hiện tại mình đã còn đứng ở đây để mà hướng dẫn cho những xe khách, xe guest vào. Thì quý vị thấy không, từ ngoài đó chạy vào đây và chạy theo cái đường này theo cái hướng dẫn của từng người một, và chạy thẳng và đậu từ bên đó qua đây luôn. Thì đậu dài dài, xe nào tới trước thì show trước, xe nào tới sau show sau như vậy. Còn đây là toàn bộ xe bus quý vị. Đây là xe bus này sẽ chở những người đến rally á, từ đây cho tới sân golf và drop off trước mặt sân golf, xong rồi từ đó vào bên trong. Đó là những cái gì mà mình sẽ làm ngày hôm nay nha. Quý vị sẽ thấy được là đó là những người volunteer đến đây, và quý vị thấy mà một bầu trời nắng như vậy, không có cây có cối gì hết trơn á. Thì nếu mà trời hôm nay nắng nóng thì không biết nó như thế nào, nhưng mà trước tiên thì mình cứ làm xong cái volunteer lúc mà mình sign up thì mình làm như vậy á. Đó là những cái công việc mà mình sẽ làm cho ngày hôm nay. Và vào lúc khoảng 4 giờ 4 giờ chiều này thì lúc đó người ta sẽ đón mình về lại ngay chỗ khu vực rally để cho mình dự cái buổi rally tối hôm nay. Nhưng mà trước tiên thì mình phải đứng đây nguyên ngày, đây là từ đây cho tới chiều luôn. Đó, thì làm công việc này như vậy. Có quay một chút xíu khung cảnh ở đây cho quý vị thấy là nó như thế nào nha, để quý vị ta biết. Đây là một đoàn xe đầu tiên quý vị, đúng 10 giờ mở cửa. Đoàn xe vừa rồi mới vô ầm ầm luôn. Keep going. Yep. Yeah. Đó là đoàn người vô parking bên kia quý vị thấy không, xa thì là xa luôn đó. Đó, đậu từ bên đó cho qua hết khu vực này. Wow, rất là đông lắm nha. Đây tiếp tục quý vị. Đó, đoàn xe tiếp tục vô nha. Go. Đứng đây rất là nóng quý vị ơi, rất là nóng. Đây đúng trùng trống mà không có chút gió nào luôn. Xe tiếp tục going quý vị. Đó, đây là những cái đoàn xe đầu tiên cho ngày hôm nay, đúng 10 giờ sáng quý vị. Keep going. Yep. Yeah. Let's go. Keep going. Hey man. Very good. Let's go. Đi cái gì? Đó là đoàn xe cho đầu tiên đó. Ha. Và xe bus quý vị tới đầu bao nhiêu là lên xe bus và xe bus sẽ đưa vào golf club nha. Ok, chúc quý vị một ngày vui khỏe nha. Ok, xin kính chào quý vị ơi. Bây giờ đã là 2 giờ rưỡi rồi. Thì quý vị thấy là xa xa là Bắc Kinh bây giờ full rồi đó. Đầu quá trời, vô nhiều lắm, đông lắm. Xe bus là bây giờ quý vị thấy cái hai hàng là tiếp đón nhau, xe này lên xe kia về cứ đi liên tục. Từ đây chạy vào sân golf của Tổng thống Trump. Xe đậu tới đây những người đứng làm ở đây tới 4 giờ thôi nha, ta sẽ vào bên trong, còn đường Bắc Kinh là xe sẽ tiếp tục vào đó, tiếp tục như vậy, thấy không, xe là vào bên này và chạy theo cái đường như vậy, và vô đó thì có người xếp hàng thì theo thứ tự quý vị đứng từng clip ra như vậy, rất là đông đó, tất cả mọi người đến đây quý vị rất là đông. Đến nãy giờ là cũng là từ lúc 9 giờ tới giờ quý vị, mình đứng đây từ lúc 9 giờ, trời rất là nóng. Nhiệt độ có thể trên 100 độ hơn, nhưng mà nhiệt độ nóng lắm. Tụi em đứng bây giờ là wow. Tiếp tục quý vị, mọi người vô bây giờ lên tới á, tiếp tục vô rồi đó, quý vị thấy không, Bắc Kinh xe đậu như vậy đó, đông lắm. Bắt đầu là drop off rồi đó, xong bắt đầu lên xe bus sẽ chở vào đó, và xe bus quý vị theo bên này mình chạy ngược lại nè đó, và tiếp tục như vậy đó quý vị, cứ đi xe này drop off thì xe kia tới, xe này về đó, cứ đi liên tục như vậy đó quý vị đó, xe này vẫn còn về nè, chuẩn bị vào. Và có những cái nơi ở xa thì người ta đi xe bus tới đây, mọi người cũng vẫn drop off ở đây luôn quý vị, drop off ở đây xong rồi xe bus sẽ chở về vào sân golf, chứ không có drop off về trên đó luôn. Đó là điều như vậy. Và bây giờ đã là 2 giờ rưỡi rồi, trời rất là nóng luôn, nắng nóng lắm quý vị có thấy không, làn da này bên hết trơn luôn. Đợt này về là còn đen hơn nữa quý vị, nhưng mà ok, mọi người tiếp tục đi vui là ok rồi đó. Xe tiếp tục vẫn chạy theo đường như vậy quý vị, sắp xếp như vậy, thành ra mình cứ đến đây mình hướng dẫn xe đi vô và chạy tới đầu kia thì có một người bắt đầu gắt theo line hai bên, cứ chạy như vậy phu chỗ này thì sẽ lên tiếp tục, từ trong đó sẽ ra tới đây luôn hết quý vị, thì từ đây tới chiều sẽ ra tới đông nữa. Bây giờ mọi người bắt đầu sẽ tới đông hơn nữa chứ không phải vậy đâu. Sau 2 giờ là bắt đầu mọi người sẽ đến đông hơn, càng ngày càng đông hơn nữa, quý vị thấy xa xa không đó, cho quý vị quay gần hơn này. Đó là xe đậu vậy đó, liên tục nè, xe bus nè đó, quý vị thấy rồi đó, đông lắm quý vị đó. Xe bus vô thì tiếp tục đậu bên này, tuyệt đối là xe nhỏ là lên trên kia mới xuống nha, còn xe bus chỉ có vô được ở đây thôi. Nhiều chiếc xe nó chạy theo á, không biết á, cho nên thành ra là bị kẹt khúc đó. Mình đứng đây cho tới 4 giờ luôn đó. Ok, tiếp tục nha. Giờ xe mọi người vô càng ngày càng đông quý vị. 3 giờ chiều rồi, bây giờ mọi người vô bắt đầu đông rồi đó, và kênh gần full rồi đó. Ok, tiếp tục. Đứng bây giờ là đứng nãy giờ là nắng là bơ luôn á, quá trời, nóng lắm. Tiếp tục, xe bây giờ vô càng ngày càng đông rồi đó. Tới 4 giờ là không có vô nữa, tới 4 giờ là full.
Cohete, mira eso. Cuando este hombre gana.
Celebrate your team, Doral. Let's go. What? Everybody going. So happy, right? Everybody happy?
All happy.
Yeah, more than happy.
Happy. All with our own people. Yes. Now we can talk freely. We can talk. ¿Sí o no? Estamos como
Everybody happy. Everyone happy. Everybody. Ok quý vị, bây giờ đã là gần 3 giờ rưỡi rồi, mới check in. Bây giờ chưa? Come on. Giờ đang còn không mình. Thì đây là một cái sân golf quý vị, ngày hôm qua có quay rồi đấy. Thì coi quý vị quay này, mọi người vô đây đứng đông như vậy. Đây là cái đường đi vô sân golf nha, vô chỗ rally của tổng thống. Thấy không? Mọi người vẫn đánh golf bình thường. Đây là sân golf, cái buổi rally cho ngày hôm nay, đứng trên một cái trạm sân golf quý vị. Đây sẽ quay hết toàn cảnh. Xa xa bên kia là cái golf club nha, cái golf club của Trump. Phía bên này là water fountain, mọi người đến đây. Đó. Trong bên này trong California cái gì? Gặp mọi người đến đây là đó. Không có ngờ là tổng thống là tổ chức tại ngay sân golf của tổng thống luôn quý vị. Em muốn ngồi trên hay ngồi dưới?
Your sovereignty for all nations and your guidance in the affairs of the beloved. Yes, with the president. We thank you for preparing the way for President Trump to once again take the helm of the United States as we navigate these rough waters. Praise the Lord. Father, we ask that your wisdom, strength, and your courage remain upon the life of Donald J. Trump as his heart continues to be aligned with your divine principles. Uphold him with your righteousness and grant him divine protection, for he is a beacon in the midst of divisiveness and turmoil. Bless this gathering with your peace and with your grace. May it be a time of inspiration for all who are present as well as those who are watching. We entrust our hopes and aspirations for the future of our nation into your loving hands, so that we may return to the Judeo-Christian principles in which the United States of America was founded. We pray, Lord, we pray for a spirit of unity and understanding among all citizens during this election season. We thank you, Father, for we know that you have chosen President Donald Trump to receive the reins of this country as we all together make America great again. Gloria a Dios. Blessed be the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rafael Montalvo. In the Pledge of Allegiance.
The greatest honor to be here, and we'd like to ask you to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all.
Gentlemen, please welcome Captain Randy Lundy as he sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
USA! 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 USA!
Alex Hancock. So I think in all the stuff that's happened over the past 3 years, we've learned so much. It's been an education that we have. This isn't just for the short term. We need to secure our elections. It's one of our most important things for the long term.
Yes.
And one of the things that you've heard their great real presidents say is we need to swamp the vote. We need to get, right now, with all the stuff that's happened, you can flip Democrats. You can flip Democrats over. It's just, he's a great uniter. You got to reach out now because they're open to hearing. They remember December of 2019 when things were so good because of our great real president's decision. And they also look around them now and know what can happen, right? Well, we've got a new plan to add on to that. And this is, if you go to LindellPlan.com, okay? And you go there, what I'm telling everybody to do is request your mail-in ballot. Okay, now like here in Florida, you can request your mail-in ballot and you get it and you don't open it. And then when you go to vote in person, if they say to you, oh, you've already voted. This happened in the 2020 election, 2022, all over our great country. Now you pull it out of your pocket, you go, oh yes, I have not voted, I have not voted. And we have a whole plan laid out for you there. I call it Protect Your Ballot, okay? Protect your ballot. We all need to do this. We'll show you there what you can do then after that. But it works perfectly with Swamp the Vote. We get everyone out to vote. And now I want to say this is, so I am very encouraged what's going to happen. We've got to get, at least 20% more out that voted because they're going to try and cheat. But we've got to swamp the vote. We've got to override the algorithms and then we can get to where we need to with our election platforms. But I want to say this before I go. You guys, all the things that have been going on in our country, that you look around that are bad with the open borders and the fentanyl pouring in and people dying and the economy the worst it's ever been and these things happening. What they've done is they've drove people to this bucket of common sense, which is our great real president's bucket, okay? And once you're in that bucket, you don't leave. The other thing, the other bucket that's going on is people don't reach out to God. When I say God's given us grace for such a time, it says when things are going good, they don't reach out to God. But when things are going bad, like things are going now, people are coming more and more to the Lord every day. And we're in the greatest revival for Jesus Christ in history. God bless you.
Good, Mike. Good, Mike.
Bạn có ôm á, bạn có ôm
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Commissioner Kevin Cabrera.
Hello, fellow patriots. I'm Kevin Marino Cabrera, and I'm your county commissioner and state committee man. And you know, walking up the steps reminded me how much I love a good old-fashioned MAGA rally. You know, who here is ready to send Sleepy Joe, his crooked son Hunter, Lady Macbeth, and the entire Biden family packing? No. I know you can do better than that. We know it's coming up on Joe's bedtime in the White House. We want to make sure he hears you there. Who is ready to make America great again? Folks, we're less than 4 months from taking back our country and truly making it great again. And as I look into this crowd and think of the millions of Trump supporters out there across our nation, I'm inspired by the incredible unity and support behind President Trump. Everywhere President Trump goes, record-breaking rallies define the mainstream media's narrative. Just a few weeks ago, you guys remember when we had Sleepy Joe's decline and they called it cheap fakes? Well, look at them now. They're all fighting to see who replaces him. What happened? Where's our apology? It's okay, we won't hold our breath waiting. But at the end of the day, President Trump has never stopped fighting for us, and we will never stop fighting for him. They try to silence him. They try to break him. And most recently, they try to jail him. And you ask yourself why? Why are they doing this? And it's because they fear him and they fear us. They fear a movement that will restore our country's greatness. And just like...
Miami, are you ready to make Donald J. Trump the 47th president of the United States? You know, around the country, people are wondering, man, how do you guys get it done in Florida, time after time after time? Yeah. And I got to tell you, it's been a long road in our state, but we are now the Republican state in the country.
Woo! Woo! Let's go!
Let's go! We are now the red state in the country.
Woo!
And Miami-Dade County is also known as Trump County here in the great state of Florida. You know, I got to tell you, it's been very interesting on Capitol Hill the last couple days. I'm watching Democrat members actually having to answer questions from the press. They're not conditioned for this. They're not like you and I. Like, we have been through the fire with the press. So we know how to deal with a tough press. They don't. And the reason they don't know and the reason they don't have an answer for the press is because they have lied to the American people about Joe Biden's ability to do the job. But that's okay. Because in 4 months, we are going to fire Joe Biden. and we are going to save the United States of America.
Go! Go, got to go! Go, got to go!
Go.
Go, got to go!
Joe does got to go.
Go, got to go!
When we
Go,
do
got
that, some crazy things are going to happen. We're going to get back to common sense policy in America. We're going to secure our borders here in America.
Yes! Woo!
We're going to get our government under control, and we're going to get inflation down here in America.
Go!
We are going to once again demonstrate to the world what sound, sober, principled, and strong leadership is. The leadership needed for a safe world and for a safe America. And that's going to be led by the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Go! Woo! Go! Woo-hoo!
And my all-time personal favorite, we are going to watch the decision desk over at MSNBC and CNN election night, and they're going to be crying into their desks, and they're going to say to themselves, how did this happen? And we're going to say to them, it happened for two reasons. Number one, you lied. You lied again, and you lied again, and you lied again. But number two,
Remember that the border was secure. The southern border was secure. And then these folks took control of our country. So you know who we have to thank for securing the border then and who's going to secure it again. Let's thank Donald Trump for securing our border, and he will do it again. Oh yeah. And under Donald Trump, we had reached energy independence. And I thank him, and Donald Trump will do it again. We shall become energy independent again. And our economy was strong under President Trump. There was no such thing as inflation. And guess what? When you do your part, you work hard to elect Donald Trump, he will secure our economy and get rid of Joe Biden's inflation. He will do that. But let's be clear. I also want to thank him for something that I thanked him here 4 years ago. I thanked him for standing up to tyranny, to standing up for against the Castro regime, for standing up against Chavez and Maduro, for standing up against the dictatorship in Managua. And I'm going to thank him one more time, and I'm going to do it here. Those tyrannies, those anti-American dictatorships will not survive another 4 years of Donald Trump. That's why I also want to thank Donald Trump. So friends, are you ready to work to elect Donald Trump as the next president of the United States? Are you ready to not tire until we elect Donald Trump as the next president of the United States? Are you ready to send packing the crypto-communists and the socialists that have taken control of the White House of the United States? So my dear friends, I said it. I wanted to thank people. Oh, wait, something that people don't thank Donald Trump enough. I thank him for endorsing my candidacy, again, for the United States Congress. Thank you, President Donald Trump. And let's be very clear, all of you, all of us, we're not going to rest. We're not going to tire. We're not going to stop working until the man that we know will once again get this country growing, get the economy prospering, bring fear to the anti-American tyrants around the world. We will not rest. And I thank each and every one of you, you proud, unapologetically pro-American patriots. Because of you, once again, Donald J. Trump will be the next president of the United States. God bless you. God bless you. God bless Donald Trump, and may God always bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senator Rick Scott.
Is there anything better than coming to a Trump rally?
So fun.
Maybe October would have been a little bit better, but what a great night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The President of the United States has so much authority to change the direction of this country. This election is so important. We have got to do everything in our power to make sure we get all the votes to where Donald Trump has an overwhelming majority on November 5th. And you're going to do it. So now let's think about it. In our lifetime, not many times in America have we ever had the opportunity to say we could pick between two people that have both had the job. Right? Biden's had the job for almost 4 years. Donald Trump had the job for 4 years. So we can say, gosh, who did a better job? So let's think about some of the issues. What about the border? So think about what Biden's done. He had Trump completely close the border, right? He stopped he did everything he could to stop the drugs, the criminals, the terrorists. And what Biden do? Completely open the border, drugs, terrorists, criminals. And on top of that, he takes your money and gives it to illegals. Now, think about we're an immigration state. We're a country that believes in immigration. Legal immigration is what we believe in. Now we can look at their two records on inflation. I agree. So let's look at, he said we're sold already. So let's look at inflation. When Donald Trump left office, I think inflation was like 1.4%. Mortgage rates were under 3%. Look at today. Look at grocery prices. Now, think about this. Think about if you're rich, it doesn't matter. But if you're poor, like I grew up in a family, we lived in public housing. What would my mom be going through and what so many families are going through because of Biden? Grocery prices up, 20 to 30%. Gas prices up 50%. All right? Car prices, home prices, everything is skyrocketing. So this is an easy choice. Now, what do we have to do? We have to win every Republican race we can. The way we win the presidency and the way we win the Senate races, and again, I'm like Mario, I'm very appreciative that Donald Trump endorsed my race for re-election through the Senate. His endorsement was the most important endorsement I could clearly get and has made a big difference in making sure we're going to win. But guess what we have to do? We have to win the mayor's races. We have to win the county races. We have to win the school board races. We have to win the sheriff's races. We have to win every race. And if we do, we win statewide races and we win the presidency. Now, you're going to hear from Marco Rubio, who's doing an unbelievable job. He's going to be up in a few minutes, right? And by the way, he'd be a great vice presidential pick. But I've been in the Senate for 5.5 years. How is Mitch McConnell doing? So do you think we haven't changed? So I'm running to replace Mitch McConnell. We need somebody in the Senate, in the leadership, that believes in President Trump and is going to do everything on their power to make sure President Trump gets President Trump's agenda accomplished.
It's his agenda we have to follow through. So what are we going to do? We're going to go vote. We're going to get every friend we have to go vote. We're not going to take a chance on even November 5th and say, gosh, I could have gotten more. We're going to do everything under the sun to make sure President Donald J. Trump is our 45th and the 47th President of the United States. We are going to vote for this. We're going to vote for a secure border. We're going to vote for a strong, lethal military. We're going to vote for low inflation, lower mortgage rates. We're going to vote for allies that respect us, enemies that fear us. If we vote for Donald Trump, all those things are going to happen. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you cared enough to come out tonight to support my friend and your friend, the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Have a great night.
You will always be much more to me. Every day I wrestle with the voices that keep telling me I'm not right, but that's alright, 'cause I hear a voice and it calls me every day.
What a nice golf course, huh? Who owns this place anyway?
Who owns this place anyway?
Thank you guys for being here early. These guys, what time did you guys get here today? 1?
Yesterday.
10:30 last night.
When the president comes out, tell him we love him coming down here. The next time we need to do it indoors somewhere, right? Did you guys watch the debate? I was there. I was there afterwards to go into the spin room for the media. Unbelievable experience. The media people didn't know how to react. They almost, frankly, felt like I walked into like a funeral. And that's the reaction to it. So, but the one thing, I don't know what you thought, but I was watching this, and you know, you're happy, right? Because we are happy that who won the debate? Well, I think everybody, like even Biden said Trump won. But I'm watching this debate, and about halfway through it, I realized, oh my God, that guy's the president of the United States. Who is running our country right now?
Obama!
And then I realized, who?
Obama! The devil!
Yeah, like 4 different names.
Obama!
All right, but then I started thinking, the other thing that scared me was I started thinking, not only, they're watching this thing in Beijing, they're watching it in Moscow, they're watching it in Havana, they're watching it in Caracas, they're watching it in Iran. And they're saying, that guy's the president? That guy? We're going to invade tomorrow. That's what I would do, you know, you're thinking. That's the danger that we're in. But here's the second outrageous thing. Everyone's known this. We've been seeing it for 3 years, but it wasn't true. If you had said anything that's been said now about Joe Biden 20 minutes before that debate, they would have said that's a lie, it's a conspiracy. The only conspiracy here are the people in the shadow government that are protecting and hiding from the American people the condition of our current president, and it puts our country in danger. Guys, but even they're saying it now. Even they're saying it now. Even MS, what does President Trump call it? MSDNC? Even they're saying it now. I've never seen anything like it. They're in a complete panic. They're in a complete panic about how do we now push this guy out? How do we get rid of him? And as you've seen, I don't know, I still can't tell you today. I guess they have now admitted that from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Biden is awake and running the country. I don't want a president that's open less than our banks are open. And that's what we're facing now. So we know he's not calling the shots. How do they say it in Cuban? Ese señor no sabe dónde está parado. You guys can translate later.
Do now.
So this guy, so he's there, and you're watching this debate, and we're seeing that. But, and so yes, look, the guy's a figurehead for a shadow government of leftists that are propping him up. So now they want to push him out. Here's the problem. The replacement, Joe Biden is the figurehead of a left-wing government, shadow government, but his replacement is actually a real-life, verified left-winger, whose policies are if I had a list on me today, maybe I have a list on me today, of all the crazy, well, yeah, I only have the one-page list. This list actually goes much longer. Of all the crazy left-wing policies that they want for our country, she supported every single one of them. She wants to ban, who drove here today in a car that puts gasoline in their tank? Well, good, because the Trump charging stations are not yet open. So, but the truth is that it ranges from that to I saw a clip the other day where she wants to ban plastic straws. Those paper straws suck. We don't want paper straws in America. But this is the range of things, okay, that she stands for. But either way, they have kept from the American people the true condition of the President of the United States. Here's what they can't keep from us. You know the answer. I'm going to ask you these answers. You're going to know the answer. Who did you have more money in your pocket at the end of the month with? Trump or Biden? And who did you feel better about the border with? Trump or Biden?
Trump.
And who do you think put America in a position where we were more respected in the world? Trump or Biden? Well, that's what this campaign is. That's what this campaign is all about. That's why he was the 45th president of the United States, and that's why Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States of America. And so that is the choice that we have to make. That's why they want this campaign to be about anything except that comparison. That's what they want it to be about. By the way, I got to laugh. I say laugh, I laugh, but I laugh like not a happy laugh, sort of like an angry laugh. Not like a Kamala Harris laugh, like a different kind of laugh. But my laugh, I laugh because I hear these guys on TV saying if Trump becomes the president, he's going to become a dictator. And he's going to go after his opponents. This is from the people who are going after their opponents and putting their political opponents in jail every single day.
The lights on the runway. There were hundreds of troops packed into a dining hall. They had absolutely no idea that the president and first lady were about to walk into that room. And when they did, it was a sight and a sound, and it absolutely erupted. That was the kind of patriotism President Trump brought back to our country. One of the young soldiers yelled from the back of the room, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted in the military because of you." And without missing a beat, the president said, "And son, I am here because of you."
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Burning bright.
damn shame what the world's gotten to. For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. Rich man knows the rich man, Lord knows it all. Just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich man knows the rich man. Politicians, look out for miners, not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge round. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to. For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours, bullshit pay.
Vice President, okay? That's the Vice President, please. Okay.
Thank you. Woo, man.
Can I get a picture?
Y'all looking good. Nice to meet you. This is Kaylin. Kaplo.
If I unplug these things, a little more close. Fíjate, tipo, puedo dar ahí. Te voy a poner ahora la foto esa. All ducked out. Oh, being close. Camera.
All right.
I know. I don't know how you guys get sweat. You guys are about to. I had hair when I started. I love that shirt. Our next.
Vietnamese for top.
I just saw somebody else with that over there.
Yeah.
Our next vice
Hey,
president.
nice to meet you.
That ain't up to me, man. I'll be here campaigning no matter what.
We'll be a VP, okay? Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I just saw something.
Yeah. Yo. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Miami! How's everyone doing today? You having some fun? You ready to take your country back? Are you a little upset that they've been lying to you like they have for the last few years? So before they get off the stage, I gotta thank my children, especially Chloe, who was basically functioning as my Jill Biden, to make sure that I was capable of walking onto a stage. Now think about this, guys. We're running against a party that wants to take away your AR-15, but they gave a vegetable the nuclear codes. Think about that. Think of how insane that all is. Each and every day, there's a new measure of stupidity, a new level of asinineness. And what's great is, it looks like they're sticking with Joe. After lying to us for 5 years, that this guy is competent, that this guy is fit to serve. Raise your hand here. If Joe Biden showed up to pick you up in an Uber, would you get in the car? Would you let a friend get in the car? Would you let your worst enemy get in that car? Maybe, maybe. Dumb ways to die, right, folks? But this is what we're dealing with each and every day. Just this week, Joe Biden announced that he's going to veto a required proof of citizenship to vote. I wonder why that would be, folks. Why do you think they would stop that?
He's desperate for votes.
You're right, we do. We have to stop the steal. We have to beat the margin of fraud. To win by 2, we gotta win by 6.
Yep.
That's the game they've been setting up. There's a reason they've let in 15 million people. Venezuela right now is the safest it's been in decades because all their criminals reside in our neighborhoods. That's what's going on.
Send them back.
There's no other explanation
Send them
for it.
back.
They're not even hiding from it at this point. They realize they can't run on the economy. They can't run on inflation. The adults that are back in charge have, let's just say, failed us miserably. And we've seen it each and every day. Remember, the adults are going to be back in charge. They told us this. And let's just say, I don't feel it yet, guys. It's been 3.5 years. You'd think you'd see it by now, right? I am a reasonably spoiled individual, and if I go to the grocery store, if I take my kids to McDonald's and I'm pissed off, no, seriously, what does everyone else feel?
Yeah.
If I get it, if I see it, how do the Democrats not see it? Miami! Welcome to the Great Doral. All right, so I've got a very serious question for everybody. I'm going to do this in front of Don's kids. Which Trump son do you like more? Do you like Eric? Or do you like Don?
The next president of the United States, President Donald J.
Showed up. This is a lot of people. As the world can see, we are under the leadership. The Republican Party is bigger, stronger, more vibrant, and more united than ever before. Every day we are welcoming more Americans to our ranks, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, young people, old people, union members, non-union members. Basically, everyone is joining. I will give him 10 strokes aside, and if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice, any charity that he wants, $1 million. And I'll bet you he doesn't take the offer. I would bet he, because he's all talk. But what that match will do is prove that Joe is in fact all talk and no action. But on many things, not just golf. When pilots walk into the White House, he says he used to fly planes. He didn't. When truckers come in, he says he used to drive a truck. He didn't. When Jewish people are here, he always attended synagogues, he said. The Jewish people. He didn't attend. They said, did he ever see a synagogue? He doesn't know what a synagogue is. When black people come, he spent his Sundays in black churches. All of it's false, all of it's fake. He's a fake. Unfortunately, he was like that in Afghanistan. He was like that with Russia, Ukraine, and he was like that on October 7th and the attack in Israel. He didn't know what he was doing. But whatever else can be said about crooked Joe Biden, you have to give him credit for one brilliant decision, probably the smartest decision he's ever made. He picked Kamala Harris as his vice president. No, it was brilliant because it was an insurance policy, maybe the best insurance policy I've ever seen, Marco. If Joe had picked someone even halfway competent, they would have bounced him from office years ago, but they can't because she's got to be their second choice. She has no choice and no chance. As vice president, Kamala Harris was given two jobs, two very important jobs, actually. First, she was put in charge of the U.S. border security and the border. And she never showed up. She's never gone. She never went there once. And the border's the worst border in the history of the world, not just in the number of years, the worst. We had the best border in history. She has the worst border in the history of the world. And then she was sent to Europe to deter Russia from attacking Ukraine. How did that work out? Not too good. Both times the result was a deadly failure. Since Kamala was made border czar, the Biden-Harris administration has lost track of an estimated 150,000 children, many of whom have undoubtedly been raped, trafficked, killed, or horribly abused. Think of it, 150,000 children are missing. They're gone. Nobody knows where they are. Many are not with us any longer. She's 100% for the Green New Scam, supports banning the sale of gas-powered cars. Who wants to drive an electric car for the rest of your life? You don't want to drive for 45 minutes and then stop for 3 hours. Is that what you say? And once the American energy industry totally shut down, starting with Pennsylvania fracking and Texas drilling. No drilling in Texas, no fracking in Pennsylvania. We just got a poll from Pennsylvania with 12 points up. That's a lot. Got a poll from Texas with 16 points up. And we have some great people from Texas here tonight. And as a senator, Kamala sided with socialist Bernie Sanders. He's a real socialist. He's serious. But not as bad as Biden turned out to be. Bernie's embarrassed by some of the things that Biden did because they push him around. It's the ultra-far left government takeover of the entire healthcare system. And I don't think Kamala Harris's California socialism is going to go down well with the people of Doral, the people of Miami, or the people of Florida. Because in Florida, we don't like socialism. We want our freedom, right? And we have a lot of people, Marco, from Cuba, from Venezuela, from all over. And they don't want to hear about socialism or communism.
USA! USA! USA!
Despite all the Democrat panic this week, the truth is it doesn't matter who they nominate because we are going to beat any one of them in thundering landslides. And this November is going to be amazing. Going to be the most important election in the history of our country because our country's going down the tubes. That's a nice way of saying our country's not doing too well. We've never had anything like it. Our borders, our economy, the worst inflation ever. We have the politics on our side. We have the policies on our side that will make America great again, and they don't. They will only continue to destroy our nation. Our nation is being destroyed. Joe, Kamala, and the entire Democrat establishment have been caught red-handed in the thick of the biggest scandal and the biggest cover-up. It's a cover-up. That's what it is. And I said it when they hid this guy in the basement and then they cheated on the election. It's a cover-up. It's the biggest cover-up in political history. As you know, they are all co-conspirators in the sinister plot to defraud the American public about the cognitive abilities of the man in the Oval Office. Sometimes he's there, not there often. Laughin' Kamala, Laffin apostrophe. Laughin' Kamala was in on it. Crazy Nancy Pelosi, who, by the way, is also very cognitively impaired. Have you watched her lately? She's not doing too well. She's not doing too well. I think she's worse than Joe. You want to know the truth? She was in on it. Crying Chuck Schumer. You ever see him cry? He cries when the phoniest crying I've ever seen. Crying Chuck Schumer was in on it. Every Democrat cabinet member was in on it. They all knew this guy was grossly incompetent, and every Democrat in the House and the Senate was in on it. It was a scam. The American people can never trust this group of liars ever again. They put our country at great risk and danger. That's why we are going to sweep them all out of office this November.
Yes! Woo!
I believe it'll be an election like no other. But the biggest problem for the radical left Democrats is that their candidates are very much, if you take a look, mentally deficient. Is that a nice statement? They are mentally deficient. I'm saying that because the other term is too tough. The biggest problem is that their policies are no good. Their policies are horrible. Americans want strong borders, not open borders. We want low taxes, not high taxes. You know, they want to increase your taxes 4 times by 4 times. We want a strong military, not a woke military. And we don't have a woke. We have some woke generals at top, but they'll be gone so fast your head will spin. But we have a great military. We have a military that defeated ISIS in 4 weeks once I got in. We want no inflation, not 30 or 50% inflation, which is what you had. Think of it. You were destroyed. People were destroyed with the inflation. I don't even order bacon anymore. You know, bacon's gone up like 5. I said, it's so expensive, I don't want it. No, it's gone up many times, right? Byron likes bacon. Bacon, I think maybe, how many stand up, Byron? Byron, how good is Byron? They say it's gone up 4 times since 4 times. So we don't eat bacon anymore, right? No more. We want American energy independence, not all electric cars and the Green New Scam. It's the greatest scam. Above all, we want America first, not America last. They want America last. What they're doing to our country is not even believable. That's why Florida is going to defeat the radical left Democrat hoaxers and liars. And the election day, we are going to tell crooked Joe Biden, Joe, you've done a horrible job. You're fired. Get out, Joe. You're fired.
You're fired!
Yes, we do! Woo! Hey, USA! 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 USA!
You know, it's only 103 degrees down here. So, you know, they built all these, they call them, sir, we have many water spots. I said, what about one for me? Do I have one? I don't have one, Marco. They gave water spots. Everybody has, they call it a water spot. Where water comes out, you get. They don't have anything for me. I'm being drenched up here. With your vote, I will begin saving our country from every Biden disaster, starting the moment I lift my hand from the Bible after taking the oath of office. We're going to do it on day one. On day one, we're going to do it. I will seal the border, stop the invasion. We have an invasion coming through our southern border. And by the way, you know who wants that? You know who wants that invasion stopped the most? Hispanic people, because they don't want their jobs taken. They don't want their homes taken. And you know who it affects the most is black people, because these people are coming in and taking jobs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. What they've done to our country is unbelievable. But we want to send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. Remember, as I said, they come from prisons, they come from jails. All these countries are at record low numbers of crime. They're sending us their criminals from Caracas and Venezuela. Caracas, Venezuela. Next year we'll meet in Venezuela because it will be safe.
Finish the wall!
Their crime has gone down 72% because they've sent all of their drug dealers, their criminals, and most of their prisoners into our country. But that's true with most countries. And if I were running one of the countries throughout the world, not just in South America, I would be doing exactly the same thing. I would have done it faster than they've done it. But our country is being destroyed. 2 weeks ago, it was revealed that Biden and Harris have allowed more than 50 radical Islamic terrorists, some of the worst in the world, by the way, to cross our border and remain at large in our country, and we have no idea where they are. They have no idea also where these terrorists are, but Joe and Kamala are simply carrying on with business as usual, holding fundraisers, taking afternoon naps. And as Joe says, I want to go to the beach today. The guy thinks he looks good in a bathing suit. Did you ever see? No, somebody in his staff told him, you look great in a bathing suit. He can't lift a chair. You know, those chairs are meant for children and old people to lift. Old people and children. And he can't lift them. They weigh about 4 ounces. When I'm president, I promise you this, I will not rest until we have found these radical Islamic terrorists and throw them the hell out of our country. We're going to get them out of here. And we will not let them back in. So many people, very few were thrown out, but the ones that came back in during this Biden administration of open borders, who the hell wants open borders? How crazy is it? Under the Biden border disaster, other countries are emptying out their prisons and their jails. They're emptying out their mental institutions. And I go a step further. You know what an insane asylum is, right? Did anyone ever see the lovely movie Silence of the Lambs? Did you see it? Did you ever hear of Hannibal Lecter? He was a lovely man. He would love to have you for dinner. He will take you. He had many people for dinner. Well, we have a lot of people coming in. They always say, oh, that's terrible, that Trump would say. He is rambling about Hannibal Lecter. No, I'm not rambling. We are allowing people from insane asylums and mental institutions into our country by the tens of thousands. And they're closing them down in other countries. Because, you know, the cost savings and all of the savings. And sending bloodthirsty terrorists, savage gang members, and child predators into the United States to prey on our people, to prey on you, to prey on everybody. They're coming not only from South America, but from all over the world, from Asia, Africa, and every other place. They're coming from all over the world. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to the grieving mother, Jocelyn Nungari, a precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who is tied up, stripped, assaulted, raped, strangled to death after walking the block to a 7-Eleven store on the corner. Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shallow creek, charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder. Beautiful, beautiful girl. The mother is devastated. Pretty much, I would say, over. The mother, I don't know, spoke to the mother. Mother is just as you would be, as anybody would be. But charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal aliens who Joe Biden set loose into our country. He let them loose, and they knew who they were. They came across our border claiming they feared for their lives. No, other people feared for their lives when they saw these two guys. They didn't fear at all. They had no fear. They're tough people. And Joe Biden and his group of people let them in. We're going to bring back, by the way, we're bringing back Tom Homan. We're bringing back all of the guys that did such a great job on the border. We had the greatest border in history. Brandon, Judd, great people. These are great people. One of them was in the country for only 20 days before ending Jocelyn's beautiful American life, and recently in Virginia at Trump National Golf Club in the Potomac River, I had lunch with the mother of and the sister of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a 37-year-old beautiful mother of 5 who was attacked, raped, and brutally murdered while out on a run. She was running. She always wanted to keep herself in good shape, her mother told me. She was a beautiful person. Police believe the sadistic monster charged with Rachel's death first killed another woman in another country, then fled across Joe Biden's wide open border into the United States, after which he attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel in Maryland. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our American suburbs and cities and towns. We're going to stop. We will shut down deadly sanctuary cities. I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement. We will close up our border, and we want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. And on day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. And as I say, and I say it all the time, and I already said it to you, no one has been hurt more by the Biden invasion than our great African American and Hispanic American populations. Under Crooked Joe, 109% of all net job creation over the last year has gone to migrants. Did you know that? Almost every job that was created has gone to migrants. In fact, more than every job. It's crushing wages for American workers, draining resources for American citizens, and stealing American jobs. And they are stealing them at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans of every background, every walk of life, and every race, religion, color, and creed. Joe Biden's job numbers are fake. They're fake numbers, and the fake media knows it, but they don't look at all of them back there. Oh, that's a lot more. That's a lot more. I think they probably think I'm going to be announcing that Marco's going to be vice president. Because that's a lot of press. That's a lot of press. They're also overwhelmingly part-time jobs, which really means that they're second jobs of people who are struggling to get by. They're being taken by the illegal migrants that are coming into our country in these record numbers. We've never seen anything. It is indeed an invasion. When I return to the White House, I will once again be the greatest jobs president that God has ever created. And like we had 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, we will have full-time jobs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We have the greatest economy in the history of the planet. Well-paying jobs and jobs that can support a home and a family very, very easily. We had it all. As everyone knows, the Biden economy is a nightmare for working families under Crooked Joe. Inflation, price hikes, and they've cost, listen to this, $28,000. $28,000. And you know, under Trump, you made $14,000. That's a big swing. Under Biden and Harris, half of Americans are not taking a vacation at all this summer because they can't afford to do it. Most say it's because the cost of daily life is so high, no matter what they make, they can't. Because, you know, they like to say 20%, 29%, 26%, 31%. I think your inflation, your real inflation, is way over 50%, and I believe that. Meanwhile, Crooked Joe has spent almost 50% of his presidency on vacation. Almost all of it, including many, many weeks on the beach. And mansions are in, think of this, here's a guy that's been a politician all his life. He's got homes in the Virgin Islands, Nantucket, Lake Tahoe, Kiowa Island. I mean, where the hell did they get all this money, Byron?
China!
He's got more homes than I do. What the hell is going on with him? And that home he's got in Delaware is pretty nice, right? I remember they said it was
China.
his son's home. You know, his son is running it, right? You know that, right? You know that. He's running our government. And Jill is helping. Jill is. Where's Hunter? Remember the sign? Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? He's in the White House. Hunter is in the White House running government right now, they say. That's interesting. No wonder Joe doesn't want to give up the job. His own staff says that the only hours he works are 10 a.m. to 4. Does anybody here have a job like that? Raise your hand. And I doubt he even spends that. And today he's with the people from NATO. And these people are sharp. I know them very well, every one of them. They're very smart. They're at the top of their game. And they're saying, what the hell is with this guy? We can't figure it out. You know, I saved NATO because when I went down, hey, Barack Hussein Obama, has anyone ever heard of him? He would go and, you know, go to wherever they're holding the NATO meeting and he'd make a nice speech and he'd leave. And Bush would go and make a nice speech and he would leave. In all fairness, Bush, oh yeah. But he'd make a nice speech and he'd leave. They'd all go make speeches and they'd leave. They wouldn't even stay there a day. I went and didn't make a nice speech. I said, what the hell are you doing? Nobody's paying. Nobody was paying. But I didn't want to be obnoxious because I felt, you know, it's the first time I'd ever done this. I went. I didn't even know what the hell NATO was too much before, but it didn't take me long to figure it out, like about 2 minutes. And the first thing I figured out was they weren't paying. We were paying. We were paying almost fully for NATO. And I said, that's unfair, but I didn't want to make a big mess. You know, I was president for about 15 minutes. And I didn't want to, you know, go after NATO as my first thing. But 6 months later, I went back to the second meeting and I said, you know what? You're not paying your bills. You got to pay your bills. Somebody stood up from one of the countries, 28 countries, and only 7 were paying what they should be paying. 28 countries, think of that. And these countries, now we added a couple, but 28 countries. And they said, sir, could I ask you, I said, you have to pay your bills. They said, sir, may I ask you a question? If we don't pay our bills, will you protect us from Russia? I said, you mean you're delinquent? They said, yes, we're delinquent. Let's say we're delinquent. Would you protect us? I said, no, I will not protect you from Russia. The money came in by the billions. It came in. There's never been, right? There has never been. Where's Waltz? Where's Congressman Waltz? Am I correct, Mr. Guy? This guy loves the military. He gets sick when he looks at what we're doing, but he loves it. Is that right? I got billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars came pouring in because he said, oh, this guy's a little different than the other guys. But Joe Biden is a part-time president while you are working overtime to get by. He's a part-time president. He doesn't work. Well, he can't work because he's mentally no good. He's shot. But he was shot 25 years ago. You know, he was never a smart person. In fact, Ted Kennedy was actually a friend of mine. Can you believe it? Because of Palm Beach. He lived in Palm Beach. The Kennedy compound, for those that think the Kennedys are struggling, they had the Kennedy compound, but I did him a favor and he liked me and I was very good to him, actually. And I said to him, Ted, let me ask you a question. Who's the smartest senator? Tell me. And he gave me a name, but I won't say it because I can't stand the guy. Okay? I'll tell you later, Marco, who he said. It wasn't you because you weren't there yet, so okay. But I said, who's the smartest? He gave me a name. I said, so who's the dumbest? He goes, probably Joe. This is like 20 years ago, 20-something years ago. Probably Joe. I said, who's Joe? He said, Joe Biden. I said, really? He's a dumb guy? Yeah, he didn't understand policy. He didn't understand tax. He didn't understand anything. He's hale and hearty and well met. And outside of his really bad hair, he's, you know, sort of a good-looking guy at the time, right? I think the facelift did not help him. No, he said, I'm going to get myself a facelift. I'm going to give it one more try. You know, he tried it 3 or 4 times. He tried it 3 or 4 times. Then he said, I'm going to look great. I'm going to get a facelift. You know what took him so long to get into the race? The facelift didn't work. Under my leadership, we will make America affordable again so that every American family can afford to take a thing called a vacation. Is that not?
Yeah, 1 week.
And on day 1, we will throw out Bidenomics and replace it with a thing called MAGA-nomics. We will quickly build the greatest economy in the history of the world. I will repeal every disastrous Biden regulation, of which there are many. Cancel Crooked Joe's insane electric vehicle mandate. How stupid. And we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill like we never drilled. We were energy independent 4 years ago. Think of it. We're going to be energy dominant within months. 4 years ago, energy independent. I will deliver large tax cuts, larger than you even have now. You know, I tell the story to people. It's hard to believe. I reduced taxes, the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. I reduced them bigger than the Reagan tax cuts many years ago. And with a lower rate, the following year, we took in much more tax money. Think of it. So we're getting much less. That meant for small businesses, large businesses, because that's what the job creators are. For middle-income people, low-income people, everybody. And he wants to let that expire. And if you do, your taxes are going to go up about 5 times, 4 times to 5 times more. How would you feel if they raise your taxes by 4 or 5 times? Not good. And remember that when you're going into the voting booth. Do I want to have a terrible president who has no idea where the hell he is? And less importantly, do I want to pay 4 times more tax? And remember, what I'm going to do is something that nobody's ever even thought about doing. No tax on tips.
Yeah!
For all of you waitresses, for all of you caddies at Doral. You know, I came to Doral and there were some caddies at the shack. We call it Caddy Shack. It's the most beautiful caddy shack I've ever seen. We have the world's most beautiful. They sit down and watch television. And I never had this before. They were out for a round. They're very sweaty, very, very sweaty guys. You know, look, they're carrying bags all over the place. Not easy. It's 100 degrees out today, 103, 104. And they saw me and they gave me the biggest hug. I said, get the hell out of here. You're soaking wet. I said, why do you like me so much today? But in the past, you never touched me and kissed me and hugged me. It's very simple, sir. No tax on tips. Thank you very much. So for caddies, for waitresses, it's tremendous. And it's a very complicated thing, frankly, for the government to collect. But they've issued new rules and regulations that make it very bad for people. The reason I thought of this, I was in Nevada, where we're leading, by the way, a lot. We're up by like 14 points in Nevada. That's supposed to be a little bit Democrat territory, but we're leading in Nevada. And a waitress came over, beautiful waitress, and I never like talking about physical. She's beautiful inside. Because you never talk about a person's look, ever. You never mention it. The other day, I got very angry. Some man called Chris Christie fat. And I said, sir, and then he said he was a pig. I said, sir, Chris Christie is not a fat pig. Please remember that. He is not a fat pig. Please take it back. And the guy's looking at me like, really? No, we have to defend people. You can't call people fat. So I said about 9 times, he is not a fat pig. So every time you leave a tip for the next 4 months, because it's going to go into effect very quickly, make sure that you write on the receipt, vote Trump for no tax on trips. No tax on tips.
Thank you.
That's a good one. No, but the waitress said, I said, how are you doing? She said, she's worked there a long time, great person, beautiful person. And she said, oh, it's brutal with the government, what they do to us. It's crazy. They come, they put on 88,000 people to go and take advantage of people like that. And she said, it's brutal. I said, I have a great idea. How about no tax on tips? That was the extent of my study. One waitress. But it's true. It made so much. Isn't it funny that nobody ever thought of that but me? Isn't that weird? But it's a great thing, and they deserve their money. They work hard for it. They deserve it. They deserve it. Marco, you're going to vote for it, I hope. Well, you may or may not be there to vote for it, but you'll be involved. It's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. That's why they are weaponizing law enforcement against their opponents. They are turning America into communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela. By the way, Venezuela is much more than socialist by now. You know that, right? Who's here from Venezuela? Who's here from Cuba? You know, I had it all done with Cuba. They didn't rig the election. Within 6 months, we were going to have that all worked out. They were ready. Then Biden came in, right? Then Biden came in, he opened it up. It's a disgrace. Trying to silence dissent and put their political adversaries behind bars. He wants to put me behind bars. My parents are looking down saying this was not planned when he went to the Wharton School of Finance. The great Alphonse Capone, you know Alphonse, a very nice gentleman, very fine man. Scarface, they call him in some territory. He has a scar from here to here. He didn't get it by playing tiddlywinks either. No, he was a guy that, see this man right up here is a very tough guy. I know him, tough as hell. If he ever had dinner with Al Capone and Al Capone didn't like him, he'd look at him and say, "Are you mocking me?" And this guy would go, no, I promise I'm not. But if Alphonse didn't like you, you'd never see him again, darling. Your husband would never be home again. He'd right now be a part of a foundation of a very tall building. But Al Capone got indicted less than I did. Think of it, Alphonse Capone. My parents would look down, they were so great. They're saying, how did this ever happen to my son? But you know what? We're finding out, and everybody knew, and I've been saying it's a total fraud. It was election interference, that's all it was. All Biden, they're all Biden indictments, the local ones, the state ones. They're all Biden indictments. He's a bad guy. And he's unleashed a horrible thing on this country. He's really done, wouldn't you say, Byron? He has unleashed a horrible thing because, you know, that can happen the other way around, too. But the Supreme Court came out with an incredible decision this week, and I have great respect for the courage that they've shown.
Thanks to you.
Great respect for the courage that they've shown. They have great intellect and great insight, incredible insight. They got it. They saw what was happening, not only with me, but with other people, what they did with the Fisher verdict. You know the Fisher verdict, right? That has to do with the J6 people. They had great decisions this last week. Decisions on regulations that are going to free up businesses and allow businesses to hire people and thrive. All of their persecution is only happening because I am running for president and leading very big in every single poll. And we're not just leading against crooked Joe Biden, we're leading against Kamala, and we're leading against everybody else. And our senators and our congressmen are coming in with us. We're going to have a big day, most important day. The radical left Democrats have spent this entire election posing as defenders of democracy. You ever hear Biden? He's a threat to democracy. He doesn't even know what the hell the term is. Trump is a threat to democracy. This guy, low IQ. He's a low IQ individual. But they're lying in the entire world of Joe Biden's condition. I mean, you see his condition. You see them frantically trying to overturn the results of 50 state primaries and install a new candidate at the behest of their very rich donors. Do you know that we took in record numbers over the last 4 weeks, and most of it was taken in with small donors, $61 on average, $61. And those people vote. But the Democrats, I think that their funding is stopping because I think they're rich donors. They have a lot of rich donors. We have some, but we don't really focus on it. We focus on the small donor. To me, one thing, every small donor votes. The rich donors, they're in Monte Carlo during the election. How's the election going? Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He is a major threat to democracy, and Democrats are the ones who really want to destroy democracy in our country. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. And every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. I do. Because I'm being indicted for you. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's as simple as It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being indicted. Thank you. I didn't know. What does it mean to be indicted? Thank you. They want to silence me because I will. Caddies at Doral. You know, I came to Doral and there were some caddies at the shack. We call it Caddy Shack. It's the most beautiful caddy shack I've ever seen. We have the world's most beautiful. They sit down and watch television. And I never had this before. They were out for a round. They're very sweaty, very, very sweaty guys. You know, look, they're carrying bags all over the place. Not easy. It's 100 degrees out today, 103, 104. And they saw me and they gave me the biggest hug. I said, get the hell out of here, you're soaking wet. I said, why do you like me so much today, but in the past you never touched me and kissed me and hugged me? It's very simple, sir. No tax on tips. Thank you very much. So for caddies, for waitresses, I mean, it's tremendous. And it's a very complicated thing, frankly, for the government to collect, but they've issued new rules and regulations that make it very bad now. You know, I tell the story to people, it's hard to believe. I reduced taxes, the largest tax cuts in the history of our country. I reduced them bigger than the Reagan tax cuts many years ago. And with a lower rate, the following year, we took in much more tax money. Think of it. So we're getting much less. That meant for small businesses, large businesses, because that's what the job creators are. For middle-income people, low-income people, everybody. And he wants to let that expire. And if you do, your taxes are going to go up about 5 times, 4 times to 5 times more. How would you feel if they raise your taxes by 4 or 5 times? Not good. And remember that when you're going into the voting booth, do I want to have a terrible president who has no idea where the hell he is? And less importantly, do I want to pay 4 times more tax? And remember, what I'm going to do is something that nobody's ever even thought about doing. No tax on tips. Yeah! Oh, look at this. A very young man. He's now going to college, got into every college he wanted to, and he made his choice. And he's a very good guy, I'll tell you. You know, I'm not allowed to call them boy, but he is my boy. He's my boy. They're all my boys, right? When you have sons, it can be any age. They're your boy. They're always going to be. And he's a very special guy. Barron Trump. This is the first time he's ever done it. Barron.
We're very proud of him.
Where is Barron? Stand up. Look at him. Rates are skyrocketing. Likewise, we are a nation where energy costs have reached the highest levels in our history. We are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, as we were just a few short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. And yet we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country anywhere in the world. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will be reducing their oil production while at the same time substantially increasing the price. And we met that threat by announcing that we will no longer be drilling for oil in large areas of Alaska and elsewhere in our precious land. We are a nation that is considered and consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal. Yet everyone knows that the Green New scam is fake and will lead only to our destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, despite the fact that they don't go far, cost too much, and whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively in the United States, but not available in China. And now we are a nation that wants to make our revered and very powerful army tanks, the best in the world, all electric, so that despite the fact that they are also not able to go far, fewer pollutants will be released into the air as we blast our way through enemy territory in an environmentally friendly way. And they also want to make our great jet fighters with a green stamp of energy savings, though losing 15% efficiency, but allowing us to keep our enemy's atmosphere clean of emissions as we viciously and unceremoniously attack them at levels never seen before. Who are these people? Who are these fools that would do this to us? Who are these people who would ruin our country? We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States, just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a stupid thing, a foolish thing, and self-destruct itself just like we've done for 4 years? Can we be energy independent and even energy dominant again? Yes, oh yes, and quickly, says President Trump. Yes, oh yes, and we will do the biggest military bases anywhere in the world, and only 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. And we are a nation that allowed Russia, Ukraine to fight, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. It would never have happened with me as your president, and for 4 straight years, it didn't happen. Likewise, the horrifying attack on Israel would have never happened. They wouldn't even have thought of doing such a thing if President Trump was in the Oval Office. Iran was broke under the Trump administration. They didn't have the money to fund Hamas, Hezbollah, and all of the other instruments of terror that they use. But those sanctions were lifted by a corrupt Biden administration. And now Iran is a rich country with $250 billion. Think of that. Iran now has, from nothing, they were broke. They now have $250 billion. $6 billion they also got for hostages. $6 billion. And for electricity to Iraq, they were given $10 billion, all compliments of an incompetent Biden administration. And China with Taiwan is next. We are a nation that allows radical left terrorists to violently attack our cities, leaving behind massive destruction and death, and nothing happens to the criminals that do these terrible things. There is no punishment. But when people who love our country protest, God bless everyone. God bless you all. Thank you. America great again. Thank you, Florida. Thank you very much. Thank you, Miami. God bless everyone. God bless you all. Thank you. Ghé vô hấp rắp làm vậy chứ trên đường về gì thấy hấp rắp không?
Phải không con, phải không? Tại vì chỗ
cái
nó
hấp rắp
nhiều
chưa?
không?
Đó. Ghé vô hấp rắp kéo cây đi lấy lại vốn lên. Em kéo vô hấp rắp vô.
Ủa
kéo
anh tốn vốn gì mà rồi đấy này? Mà lúc đó đấy thì Tâm chỉ nói là trời ơi, đó mẹ của chị Xuyến mẹ của chị Xuyến lúc mà chạy qua, tại vì dọn dẹp xong rồi chuẩn bị ăn, lúc đó là 2 giờ, mẹ chị Xuyến nói là lúc đó 2 giờ 10, bắt đầu mới chạy qua thì thấy 2 cái chân nằm rồi nằm sắp xoài luôn.